Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most effective and historically popular martial arts disciplines that are often learned for self-defense.
So you want to go from green to green while minimizing the time in the red zone, minimizing the chance of a knockout punch.
Number 20, Pankration. They call them classics for a reason, right? The roots of Pankration run all the way back to ancient Greece, where this combination of boxing and wrestling was introduced during the Olympics.
Pan in Greek means all,
Okay.
and kratos is the word meaning power or force or violence. And so the Pankration was a sport, a sort of all-in brand of fighting.
Contests of this sort were essentially no-holds-barred fights. This meant that other than biting or gouging of the eyes, almost every combat technique was fair game, whether it was strikes, chokes, or grappling. The variety of this style helped pave the way for modern MMA. Meanwhile, Pankration matches in the city of Sparta were known to be even more brutal, since eye gouging and biting were totally legal.
Madness. This is Sparta!
Number 19, Tai Chi. Today, this historical Chinese martial art is primarily known for its relaxation and meditation properties. Tai Chi was initially developed with self-defense in mind.
So I'm watching my dad train and finally the laughter just erupts out and he's looking over at me like, what's so funny? And I go, it just looks really funny, Dad. He goes, don't laugh, this is martial art, which I thought was even funnier.
However, some English translations describe it as the art of shadow boxing.
So as you're here, whether it's on my biceps, even if it's like a lapel grab.
Right.
There are also psychological and physiological applications to consider, since everything from philosophy and medicine to breathing and repetitive choreography come into play. Those who study Tai Chi are basically welcome to seek out whatever they want from this martial art, adapting its teachings to everyday life in order to boost their health and wellness.
Well, thank you so much. This was a true pleasure and honor, and I hope all of you enjoyed that.
Number 18, Sumo. It's all about center of gravity when it comes to the Japanese art of sumo.
Highly ritualized, this sport dates back more than 1,000 years, originating as a rite of the Shinto religion.
The country's national sport is known for its grappling and wrestling, as two competitors seek to push the other out of an established ring. The stereotypical size and strength of sumo wrestlers are notable, even to those unfamiliar with the sport.
Each match is an opportunity for sumo wrestlers to move up the complex ranking system, or down.
Meanwhile, video games such as the Street Fighter series helped keep sumo's cultural profile alive via the character of Edmund Honda. There's also plenty of ritual and cultural significance behind sumo's importance to Japan, including the traditional rules that follow those who seek to live this life and learn its ways. Number 17, Keysi fighting method. There are many forms of martial arts that retain histories dating back hundreds of years. This is what makes the rise of the Keysi fighting method so intriguing, since it's a comparatively recent style that emerged in Spain in the 1980s.
It was initially designed for self-defense in close combat and confined spaces, making it suitable for real-life situations where traditional martial arts may not apply.
There's little, if any, connection to philosophy or traditional competition when it comes to the Keysi fighting method.
One of the key principles of Keysi is to use your environment to your advantage.
Instead, originators Justo Dieguez and Andy Norman created it to react to real-world threats in a manner that feels decisive and final.
Cross, elbow, hammer. Hook, elbow, hammer.
The notion of what if is at the heart of this style, basically asking, what if a fight broke out? Would you be able to defend yourself? The results are an intense, close-quarters focused style that's designed to be used against multiple attackers.
Sorry, I encroach a lot when I do that.
Number 16, Chinese martial arts, Kung Fu. We realize that the blanket term of Kung Fu isn't very specific, but we're using it with a certain focus in mind. We're referencing the martial arts explosion that occurred back in the 1970s, particularly thanks to the international success of Bruce Lee. Interest in just about any form of Chinese martial arts grew rapidly, just as films exploiting this interest began to hit drive-ins and grindhouses in places like the United States. Kung Fu schools and teachers were now in demand, with many variations being taught to students, movie stars, and everyday citizens who became interested in centuries of Chinese cultural history. Number 15. Wrestling. What do you think of when somebody says the term wrestling? Maybe it's WWE, high school wrestling, college wrestling, or something else.
If I pull him down, but don't get behind him, this is not a takedown yet. It only becomes a takedown, right, once I can get behind.
Wrestling is essentially an umbrella term for a myriad of substyles, from Greco-Roman and Pehlwani to the Sambo style that's taught in Russia. What they all have in common is grappling.
And we had a nice body drop by the Russian athlete.
Wrestlers are highly experienced in utilizing leverage and strength in order to pin or toss their opponents. Incapacitation, joint manipulation, and more all exist within a wrestler's arsenal, and they're all keen ways to dispatch an opponent. Number 14. Ninjutsu. We wouldn't blame you if you simply assumed that ninjutsu was a made-up martial art solely for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise. The reality, however, is a bit more complicated than that.
When it comes to avoiding problems, I say yes. Ninjutsu has a rich philosophical component to the training that, when followed, it keeps most of the people out of situations where you may need to use violence.
There's been a lot of back and forth dialogue when it comes to both its history and authenticity. Ninjutsu was reportedly utilized by, you guessed it, the ninja, and focused upon stealth, survival, and assassination techniques. The Bujinkan martial arts organization based in Japan recognizes the validity of ninjutsu today, adapting modern-day techniques and introducing aspects of ritual and competition.
思っていまして、やっぱり固定概念がどうしても強い方々が日本では多いんじゃないかなと思っていて、忍者は自由な発想を持っていないと生きていけないんですね。
Number 13. Kickboxing. There's a wonderful international flair to the sport of kickboxing that helps make it feel unique and varied depending upon the country.
I want to switch my lead, doesn't change anything. Front kick, front kick, front kick.
French savate is definitely its own thing, while traditional kickboxing progressed from its roots in antiquity into proliferation via Japanese expertise and culture. Today, it is a truly global industry, featuring tough kickboxers from all over the world. Traditional American boxing remains a major draw for sports fans, many of whom flock to the sweet science for their martial arts and combat sports fix. Classic kickboxing has also been featured heavily in the movies, particularly during the action-obsessed heyday of the 1980s. Number 12. Tang Soo Do. The next martial art on our list is at once both a hybrid and a symbol of tradition.
Now we do 5 double punches. Still rotating those hips.
Tang Soo Do originated in Korea, bringing together elements of Chinese karate and kung fu. It's something of an easily adaptable discipline, with many modern Taekwondo styles borrowing heavily from Tang Soo Do.
I would say Tang Soo Do is still the more traditional in the sense that we're still using the old Chinese forms.
Action legend Chuck Norris took elements of Tang Soo Do for his own system of martial arts, lessons he learned while serving during the Korean War. Additionally, the Netflix series Cobra Kai utilizes many tenets of Tang Soo Do within the martial arts fight choreography of its star, William Zabka. Number 11. Pencak Silat. The term Pencak Silat is yet another overarching catch-all for a wide variety of martial arts originating from Indonesia. A basic overview of Pencak Silat is that of a total body defense. Strikes, throws, joint locks, and more are utilized, as well as pressure points located all around the body. Weapons training is also common, though not universal. This also comes down to the literal hundreds of deviating Pencak Silat disciplines, all with varying preferred methods of teaching. Self-defense is obviously at the core of Pencak Silat, but competition is also a part of its culture, with the International Pencak Silat Federation overseeing its numerous organizations across Indonesia. Number 10. Arnis, aka Kali. Self-preservation is key to the origins of this Filipino martial arts style, which is also known as Kali or Eskrima.
It's an indigenous Filipino martial art and sport characterized by the use of swinging and twirling movements, accompanied by striking, thrusting, and parrying techniques for defense and offense.
Regardless of the term you use, they each basically refer to the usage of some manner of weapon for self-defense, with the emphasis being on techniques with blades, knives, or sticks.
1, 2. 1, 2.
Kali also happens to be the national sport and self-defense discipline of the Philippines. As such, Arnis brings with it a rich heritage of self-preservation techniques, which also includes grappling, joint locks, and hand-to-hand combat, oftentimes with improvised weapons. Number 9. Judo. The term Judo translates to gentle way in Japanese, and is a form of martial arts that emphasizes tosses and throws, and which are utilized in order to subdue or otherwise immobilize an opponent.
I knew I was in over my head, but nonetheless, I was determined.
Oftentimes, Judo involves using an opponent's own center of balance against them, forcing a takedown or choke without the use of traditional fists or palm strikes.
So now I step across, and then I bring this arm through.
These latter elements, while a part of choreographed judo training and are also known as a kata, are not allowed in competitive judo matches because of the discipline's primary focus of earning an opponent's submission. Number 8. Hapkido. This Korean martial art incorporates a wide variety of elements as well as techniques from other martial arts into its discipline, a sort of best-of approach to self-defense. Hapkido takes from both the grappling and striking ends of the martial arts spectrum, while placing particular emphasis on leverage, distance, and positioning to properly redirect the force of a potential opponent. Performing strikes and kicks in a circular motion is also indicative of the Hapkido discipline.
The first kick is apchagi.
The name itself can literally be translated to the joining energy way, lending further credence to Hapkido's notion of the coordinated and harmonious flow of energy. Number 7. Aikido. The name of this Japanese martial art translates to way of combining forces or way of unifying energy.
Hands up and slide body forward, turn the hips, step in and out.
Aikido focuses on controlling energy and applying the principle of universal harmony by prioritizing the safety of both the defender and attacker whenever possible. The Aikido philosophy stresses the shifting of balance and using an opponent's momentum against them before subduing attackers via a joint lock or throw. Famous practitioners of Aikido include action star Steven Seagal, who has utilized aspects of the discipline in many of his films. Although Seagal's methods tend to be fairly liberal with that whole well-being of your attacker idea.
All right, who else wants some?
Number 6. Jeet Kune Do. The origins of this discipline stem from arguably the most famous martial artist of all time, the immortal Bruce Lee. Jeet Kune Do is based on Lee's philosophy of martial arts, or fighting without fighting, which was influenced by the Wing Chun idea of anticipating the attacks of and then attacking an opponent. Lee's Jeet Kune Do demanded graceful, fluid body movements, never wasting energy yet achieving maximum results. Oh, and speaking of results, one need only bear witness to the influx of martial arts cinema in the 1970s to see just how impactful Bruce Lee and Jeet Kune Do have been to the martial arts in popular culture. Number 5. Kyokushin. The karate craze that swept America in the 1980s, thanks to films like 1984's The Karate Kid, traces its martial arts roots back to this Japanese forebear, which was instituted in 1964 by Korean-Japanese master Masutatsu Oyama. Kyokushin was the first full-contact discipline of karate, stressing hard work and dedication in an ever-growing search for self-improvement and enlightenment. Indeed, the term Kyokushin itself can be translated as the ultimate truth, a notion that combines both physical fitness and mental acumen into one challenging but rewarding physical lifestyle.
Turns out it's way harder than I thought to not punch the face, but still protect your head.
Number 4. Wing Chun. Distance be damned, for this martial art is a self-defense technique that minimizes distance in favor of intimate, close-quarters combat.
On this one here, the basic movement on is a Ting Chan. What a Ting Chan is mean straight elbow.
Wing Chun emphasizes a relaxed body structure, a reed in the wind, if you will, proper balance, and the elimination of wasted energy and tension. The discipline's origins date back all the way to the era of China's Qing dynasty and the southern Shaolin monastery.
David does the right hook, simultaneously Sean goes in with that right thrusting punch.
Its focus on minimal movement for maximum effort would be adopted later by Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do philosophy, and after he learned it from Sifu Yip Man, who was portrayed by martial arts star Donnie Yen in 2008's Ip Man. Number 3. Muay Thai. This Thai discipline is one of the most visceral and physical martial arts in the world. A form of self-defense and a combat sport that stresses the use of the entire body as a weapon.
Where your body is step, jab, jab.
Muay Thai, also known as the art of 8 limbs, is notable for its intense training of the body's shins and forearms, which are designed to serve as armor protection against blows. Meanwhile, strong kicks and the knees are utilized to disable an opponent, before strikes and grappling skills take the attacker down for the count. Number 2. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Size isn't everything when it comes to this martial art, as this Brazilian offshoot of traditional Japanese Judo seems to follow the old adage, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Gracie Jiu-Jitsu is our family's self-defense system that has been used to defeat giants for the last 85 years.
Indeed, leverage and proper technique are key when utilizing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, with the ultimate goal of submission being linked primarily to grounded joint locks and chokeholds designed to incapacitate an opponent.
So if being tall and aggressive is the wrong strategy from a control perspective, then what's the right strategy? Immobilize, control, and exhaust the subject.
The origins of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu can be directly traced back to brothers Carlos and Elio Gracie, whose extended family descendants continue to teach, practice, and compete within the discipline to this day.
It didn't start there, my man. It starts here.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Krav Maga. Hungarian-Israeli martial artist Emi Lichtenfeld developed the intense and effective self-defense style known as Krav Maga for Israel's military in the 1940s.
Krav Maga, it's about saving your own life.
You can use it to disarm someone attacking with a knife or gun.
Foregoing any ritual or pomp in favor of realistic reactionary movements, the system was designed to be utilized in real-life situations. Boxing, wrestling, judo, and aikido are a big part of Krav Maga, a martial arts style designed to counteract and nullify a lethal threat with brutal force.
And the main punch, when someone comes at you with this big swinging overhand punch, I guess the instructors see that as being one of the more common attacks that you would face in a street scenario.
Krav Maga students are encouraged to avoid conflict whenever possible, but to efficiently eliminate any threat with swift action to the most vulnerable parts of the body, including the eyes, throat, and groin.
Okay, one.
Have you studied any martial arts, or perhaps there's one you'd like to try? Let us know in the comments.
I know Kung Fu.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.